Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and hello if you're new. My name is Jess. I talk about cruelty-free beauty here on my channel. So before we get into part 2 of this really massive makeup declutter, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on those notification bells so you won't miss out on new videos every week. If you missed part 1, I'll be sure to link it here in the card. Go check that out, and it will also be in the description box, so definitely check that out. If you like more decluttering videos and makeup collection videos, I do have some other videos on my channel, so again, check out the description box. I will make sure to link those below. Let's just dive right in. Start fresh for the new year. I am so ready to be done with this. So I can just, get back to like regular videos. So this is all of my highlighters, blushes, bronzers, contours, everything. I also have some larger like face palettes on the side here that we will go through as well. So this is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer in the shade 02. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I'm obsessed with this bronzer. It's the perfect, soft, kind of cool, neutral toned bronzer. Obsessed. It's probably one of my favorite bronzers of all time. It's that good. All right, I have these two powder bronzers as well. Actually, this is a pressed powder that I like to use as a bronzer sometimes if I'm doing like a Shop Miss A hits or misses or a full face of Shop Miss A. One of my favorite drugstore bronzers, or just favorite bronzer for the summertime, all-time favorite, is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer in the shade Forever Sunkissed. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the Lumi blushes. I did do a full review and swatches on the full collection, so definitely check that video out for a more in-depth review. I'm keeping all of them. One of my favorites is Ravish. They're like kind of baked and they're just beautiful. They give a luminous glow to the skin. Alright, so here's all of my primer infused blushes from e.l.f. Cosmetics. As I mentioned before, love the primer infused bronzer and love their blushes, and I'm keeping all of these because I use them. I love them. I use them all the time. I have some like random blushes. So we have one from Milani. Love these. I think Milani still sells them. They're called the Color Harmony blushes. Love this formula. It's amazing. If you haven't tried it from the drugstore, oh my gosh, like Milani is amazing. I love their stuff. So good. I have a little itty bitty blush from the AOA Studio line. This is their Perfect blush. It's their pressed powder blush in the shade Dandy. I'm gonna hang on to this. It's not my favorite formula of blush, but again, I like keeping this for when I do like a full face of AOA Studio, or I was thinking about doing like my AOA Studio like hits and misses or favorites. I'm gonna keep it for now. It's just a nice matte peachy color. I think I'll really love this in the springtime. The Essence Silky Touch blush. I believe Caitlin got this for me in the shade Adorable. Love it. I don't have that much from Essence, so I'm gonna keep this. I would love to try more actually from the brand. It's a really nice silky texture and a really nice like everyday kind of like baby doll pink. And this is one from Catrice Cosmetics, and again, don't have that much from Catrice. This is Glistening Pink. It's their Blush Box Waterproof Plus Sweatproof. I can't really say for sure if this is sweatproof or waterproof, but it is a really nice formula. It's like a dusty rosy pink. I'm gonna hang on to that one. I told you guys, I love blush, and I genuinely go through things quite often, so I don't keep things that I don't like. Alright, so for blush palettes, I don't have that many, but I have the Fairy Blush palette from Likely Makeup. I am obsessed with her. She is just amazing and talented, and I love her makeup line. I'm so, like, I really hope she comes up with more blush palettes like this because they're so, just look at the packaging. I mean, come on. I did a full review on this, by the way. Amazing formula, keeping 100%. Alright, I can tell you right now this can go. I already knew, like in my mind before filming this, I'm like, okay, I know that this is so old. Like, it's really old. It's the BH Cosmetics Nude Blush 10 color palette. I really don't reach for this anymore, and I keep telling myself, okay, I'm gonna reach for it, and I really don't reach for it. I think it is still available on their website, and it is a beautiful palette. I'm ready to let this go, and yeah, she's going bye-bye. These are my Jordana blushes. They're pretty beat up. They're definitely very old. So I'm going to be pitching all of these, but keeping this magnetic palette, of course, because there's no sense in throwing that out because it's perfectly in good condition. All right, so my powder contour palettes, or face sculpting, I don't know what to call it. So I only have 2 palettes. Yeah, literally that's it. This is from Catrice, and this is their Shape in a Box contour palette. I haven't used it at all since my last declutter, which was like a year ago. So I think I'm going to get rid of this. I just don't use it. This I'm 100% keeping. As you can tell, my most loved shade is this one right here. This bronzer is amazing. So like I mentioned, I don't have that many bronzers, but I also like this bronzer from this palette. I use it constantly and it's really good. So yeah, I love this. I love the blushes in here. Everything is matte and it's a really nice formula. It is on the expensive side, but they do sales quite often and they just have really unique stuff. They're a great indie brand. So these are all of my Halo highlighters, again from the AOA Studio line. I can already tell you right off the bat, I'm gonna get rid of this one. It's in the shade Love Lust, and as you can tell, it's very dark. This is just way too dark for my skin tone. So I have Allure and Blissful I wear all the time. I'm gonna keep these 2. Let me swatch Amore. Okay, I'm definitely gonna keep this one because it's a nice icy pink color. I think I'm gonna get rid of these 2. I never use them. They are beautiful, but they're just too dark for me. So I'm getting rid of Love Lust and Desire. Good old Mary Luminizer from the Balm Cosmetics. I've hit Major Pan. This is still great condition. Milani, again, this is probably one of my favorite drugstore highlighters. It's the Strobe Light Instant Glow Powder in Afterglow. You guys, if you're around my skin tone, get this highlighter. It's stunning. One of my holy grail favorites. Keeping. This is one that I actually really disliked, but then I used a very dense brush with it and I love it now. It's the e.l.f. I forget what it's called, but it looks like this. It's in the shade White Gold, but this one is so pretty. This is a gold shade that I can actually get away with. It's so pretty, so I'm definitely keeping this one. Good old Tarte. This is Tarte Amazonian Clay Highlighter in the shade Stunner. I've raved about this for years. I love this one. I use it all the time. Of course, I'm keeping this. It's the Melt Cosmetics Morning Star Highlighter, their Digital Dust Highlighter. You guys, I can't tell you how much I love this highlighter. This was my favorite highlighter of 2020. Give Me Glow Cosmetics Luminous Highlighter in the shade Platinum Lilac. And it's stunning. It's like a lilac highlighter, but it's just so dark on my skin tone. Do you see that? Like the shift is pretty, but you see how it leaves like kind of a gray purple cast. I hate to get rid of this, but I honestly don't reach for it anymore. So, oh, this is so painful because I love this color. I love the formula. It just looks kind of too dark. So these were limited edition. I was so excited when Makeup Revolution came out with this collection. They collaborated with The Nightmare Before Christmas. So if you did get your hands on these, oh man, they are stunning. All right, and then the last sort of pressed single highlighter, Falling Glow? No, Give Me Glow Cosmetics Snowflake. I believe they made this permanent. I don't remember. You know what? I think I'm gonna put this in my everyday makeup drawer. So yeah, definitely keeping. This is the loose highlighter from Give Me Glow Cosmetics in Snow Angel. I believe this was so well loved. They made it permanent. This is like a softer version of Snowflake. So yes, keeping love. I also have a Juvia's Place highlighter in the shade Cleo. Keeping. This formula is amazing. This is again a really pretty like champagne golden color. All right, and then I'm also gonna keep these 2 highlighter palettes. This is the e.l.f. Illuminating Palette. This is probably the second or third one I've like repurchased over and over because I just love the colors in here. When I want a softer look, I'll reach for this palette. All right, and then the last highlighter palette, this is actually new. This is from, oh, hello, Makeup Revolution. It's their, called the Face Quad in Incandescent. All right, so here's my cream face product. So we have 2 contour sticks, the AOA Studio FX sculpting sticks. I have the shade Nude and Nutmeg. These are amazing, definitely keeping, love them. All right, and then for cream highlights, I have these AOA Studio Glow Baby Liquid highlighters, these are amazing. I reviewed these already on my channel, so check it out if you want to see swatches. I am keeping these. And then the last two cream highlighters, this one from Milk Makeup, I think I'm gonna let go of. It's in the shade, it's the highlighter in Blitzed. I would love this if it didn't have gold glitter. I'm definitely gonna pass this along. It's a great product. I just don't like the color. All right, and this one I am gonna keep because this is one of my favorite like natural liquid highlighters. It's from Lauren Conrad Beauty. It's her liquid highlighter, and I have the shade Pearl. You see how it's lighter than the one from Milk Makeup? This is just so stunning. I like to apply it with my fingers and just kind of like blend it in. Yes, keeping, love. So again, Lauren Conrad, this is their Lip and Cheek tint in the shade Peony. I am definitely keeping this. This was one of my 2020 favorites. It's a beautiful, very sheer blush. This has a very balm like texture. You can use this on your lips, you can use this on your cheeks, and it's fantastic. And then I have a whole bunch of these e.l.f. monochromatic multi-sticks. Radiant Bronze. Oh, this is the one I want to get rid of. This is just too dark for me, and it has red glitter. Yes, red. I don't know if you'll be able to see or not. It has like red glitter. It's so bizarre because the other ones look so nice on the skin, but this one just does not look good on me. So I'm gonna pass that one along. But all the other ones I love so much. So definitely keeping. These are fantastic cream blushes. All right, and then I have two more from Milk, these little minis. This one I'm 100% keeping. This came in my birthday gift last year from Sephora. I'm sure everyone got their hands on this one. It's in the shade Work, and I love this. I cannot tell you how much I love this blush. It's such a great formula, beautiful everyday color. I love this so much. Now this is the Glimmer Glow Oil Lip and Cheek like tint. I don't like this. If this didn't have like this weird like red shimmer, which I find not flattering on me, I would probably keep this and use it like on my lips as like a balm, like a lip balm tint, but I just don't like it. I don't like how this looks on me. And so therefore I'm gonna let go of it. Let's go ahead and try to organize this hot mess. Alright, so everything looks nice and organized. I feel like I have enough room for everything. And I kind of like how the blushes are all kind of laid out, so I can just see the color peeking at the top. So when I'm picking out a blush to like switch things out or to use, getting ready for the day, I can kind of see the color. So I'm pretty happy with this. I know I didn't declutter a whole lot because I truly love these products so much and I do use them. Alright guys, moving on to eyeshadows. I do have a lot of eyeshadows. So we're starting off with the first drawer I have here. This is all my like drugstore, more affordable eyeshadows. I also have some singles as well. Alright, so this little palette here from Essence has been on my sort of maybe get rid of list for a long time. It's the All About Gray's eyeshadow palette, and I love gray eyeshadows. It's hard to find some good ones, but I have to say since my last declutter I haven't used this at all. This is also getting pretty darn old, so I think it's time to let go of this one. Now I don't know if Milani is slowly phasing these out because these have been on clearance quite often. It's their Milani Everyday Eyes eyeshadow collections. There's different ones. I have 01 Must Have Naturals. If I get rid of these two and just keep my Milani Gilded Gold palette, which has a really great range of colors, and it's more compact too. Since I already have this out, this is the Gilded Gold palette from Milani. Love this palette. Really pretty, like there's warm tones, some like jewel tones in here. There's like a green. Yeah, I really like this palette. Okay, I have a bunch of these little palettes from e.l.f. that I never really reach for. It's time to let them go. I've got the clay eyeshadow palettes, which I don't think they make these anymore. They're getting pretty old, especially this one. I don't know, the formula isn't that great. It gives you a really soft makeup look. I'm gonna let go of that one. And I'm gonna let go of this one too, Seaside Sweetie. I never reach for them. I keep telling myself, hey, you need to use these, but I never do. I'm gonna let them go. I also have these, they're called Sculpting Silk eyeshadows. They're just like little trios. Rosé All Day. This is actually a really nice trio. I think I'm gonna hang on to this one. And this is Smoke Stopper. So this is actually a really nice little trio as well for like gray smoky eye. I actually really want to get this out and use this. So I'm actually going to put these in my everyday makeup drawer and hopefully it'll get me to use them again. Alright, so I have quite a few of the e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadows. I did a full review, swatches, and tutorials. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know I love these. I think I did get rid of one of these that shattered. Like it just kept falling apart over and over again. So I had to toss it out, unfortunately. Alright, I have some random single shadows. I honestly don't use single eyeshadows, but these ones from Medusa's Makeup are actually really nice. This one I actually have been using a lot lately. It's called Jamaica. It's absolutely beautiful. I really, really like it actually. This one's called Blitz. And this is more like a sparkling gray color. I think I'm gonna let go of this one because again, I have some like gray sparkly eyeshadows. I don't reach for this one as much, so I'm gonna pass that along. And this one is called Rhapsody. This is like a really pretty, what is this, like a burgundy? These are so hard to open. It's like a really pretty burgundy color. Again, I don't reach for this one that much. So I'm just gonna keep this one and get rid of the other two. This is one that is so old. It's from Han Skincare Cosmetics. It's their mineral eyeshadow in the shade Taupey Plum. It is a really pretty color, but this needs to go. Alright, so here I have all of my e.l.f. Cosmetics like 10 pan eyeshadow palettes. You guys know how much I love these, so I probably won't get rid of any of them. Alright, so now for like some nostalgia. Are you ready? Are you guys ready for a little blast from the past? So these were like when e.l.f. first started out and they had like these single eyeshadows. So I have one still in the original package. I really liked their custom eyes eyeshadows. So you would pick out, you know, all of your eyeshadows and then you would pick out your empty palette and then fill it up. So each palette has a nice mirror on the inside and then you would put your 4 shadows in here. As you can tell, this was part of like a project pan. I've hit pan on quite a few of these. I actually really liked this formula. They were definitely kind of dusty, very powdery shadows, but wow, they were just really nice, soft, wearable shades. But here's a more cool toned quad I put together. The writing has come off completely on this one. Here's a more like super soft, like neutral quad. Oh gosh, this just takes me back. I get so excited when I pull these out. Oh, it looks like there's only one in here. Walking down makeup memory lane, okay? This one's probably my favorite. I love this mossy green color here. Keeping these, of course, really just takes me back to like the old e.l.f. days. And these are pretty much the only ones I kept. I feel like everything else I've decluttered or gotten rid of. This is it for the eyeshadow palettes. I'm pretty much keeping all of them. I have the J Kissa palette, the original one in the original packaging. I have 2 of the kind of like bigger palettes from e.l.f. Love these. So I would say out of all the eyeshadow palettes I have from e.l.f., I reach for these the most. This came out in 2020, which was the J Kissa collection with e.l.f. And this is how I decorated my palette. So cute. I loved the stickers. I put Honey's name here on the side. Oh, and Leo. I put Leo's name. Leo passed away, sadly, not that long ago, actually. My little leopard gecko. May she rest in peace. So I'm really glad I did that with Leo's name, because it's definitely, this is something I would keep forever just because of how I designed it, you know, myself with the stickers. But here's a look on the inside. It's definitely a rainbow palette. Yeah, this is the only rainbow palette I own, so I'm definitely keeping this one. All right, so I have a few from e.l.f. I think I am going to keep all three just for reviewing purposes and like kind of going back, you know, just to have them on hand for like future videos. I am going to keep this one as well. This is the e.l.f. and J. Kissa like double-ended liquid shadow. I actually do like this. The green part, not completely in love with, but I do like the other side. So these little guys here are expired, unfortunately. They're very, very old. They're from Jordana Cosmetics, and they're called the Made to Last like liquid eyeshadows. These are fantastic if these are still available and Jordana still sells them. Definitely check them out. Unfortunately, these have to go. All right, so that was everything from that drawer. So now let's go ahead, zoom out a little bit here, and let's reorganize and put everything back. Okay, so that's everything. I feel like I did a really great job. I still have plenty of room for like more little things. That's pretty much it. And these are gonna go on the side of the drawer. All right, let's move on. We have more shadows to go through. All right, I'm just gonna start picking up random things. I do have these like Z palette. This is the empty Z palette. So I am gonna keep this, I guess, for now. I have a couple of, these were like, I think, like discontinued from Menagerie Cosmetics. These came in the original, I think it was their Feral palette, and then they switched out the colors for like different ones. But I guess I'll hang on to them for now because I don't know what else to do with them because they're like singles. I have a bunch of Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes. Well, not a bunch, but I have a few. The Tribe palette, definitely not getting rid of my Juvia's eyeshadow palettes. They're phenomenal. Probably one of the best eyeshadow formulas I've ever tried. The Warrior 2 palette, again, love this one. This is a great everyday palette. And I just recently, you guys are getting a little sneak peek at some videos coming your way. Juvia's Place was having so many sales, and this was after Black Friday. Oh, they had these 3 palettes, and I've been wanting them for so long because you guys know I love purple eyeshadow, but I just don't have any purple eyeshadow palettes at all. All right, this is from Deck of Scarlet. This was sent to me in like PR. The collaboration with Belle Jordan here on YouTube, and I was so excited. I still really like this palette. So you've got your lip products on one side, which are really, really pretty, like purples. Hello, I am here for it. And then this side, 3 eyeshadows, a highlighter, and a blush. I love this. I actually love this palette and I still use it. And since we're talking about that one, I'm also going to keep this one. This is the Belle Jordan eyeshadow palette. She did a collaboration with Obsession Cosmetics, which pretty much is Make It Revolution. All right, this is a brand new one that came in a holiday advent calendar from Glossybox. So this is from Iconic London. But yeah, really pretty colors in here. This is, to me, the perfect soft glam makeup palette. There's lots of peachy colors in here. You've got a couple of mauve shades, a couple of brown shades. So I feel like you can do like a peachy glam look, a mauve look that's really glam, or like your typical like brown and golds. So it's a beautiful palette. I'm actually really in love with the formula. I love the mattes. I love the shimmers. So yeah, I'm keeping. All right, so here we have the one and only ColourPop eyeshadow palette that I own, and it's called Just My Luck. Just My Luck. So I actually really do like this palette, and the only reason I keep it is because it pairs really nicely with the Melt Cosmetics palette that I have that I'll show you once we get to all of those palettes. I feel like this pairs nicely because there's not a whole lot of transition colors in that palette. So for now, I'm gonna hang on to it, but I'm not that crazy about it. I don't really reach for it that often. My Carly Bible palettes I'm keeping. You guys are probably not surprised. I really wish they would bring this big one back. You guys are probably tired of me talking about it, but oh my gosh. This again is like that soft glam everyday palette. I love every single eyeshadow in here, and I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. I really don't. All right, here's something we're gonna get rid of, you guys. This is the BH Cosmetics Essential Eyes palette. This is older than dirt, and it's definitely, like, I used it the other day and I was like, it seems a bit off. I'm kind of curious to try some of their new-ish palettes they've come out with. This is super old school. So yeah, that needs to go. I have some more Z palettes. Let me see, is there anything in here? Okay, yes, there is some like single shadows in here that I'm gonna keep. These are from Makeup Geek, and then these are from Red Apple Lipstick. And then I think this is empty. Yeah, so this is an empty Z palette. Again, I get these from shopmissa.com. So here is something I depotted forever ago. It's one of the Tarte holiday palettes. I really never use this. I think the Tarte shadows in here are amazing quality. I've got some blushes I depotted as well, which is really hard to do. Most of these are cracked and falling apart. I think it's time to let go of this, to be honest with you. I think it just needs to go. All right, so these I am keeping. They're brand new. The Balm Cosmetics sent over some of their holiday stuff, which I did do a review on these palettes, so you can definitely check that video out. All right, you guys, the last two palettes from this drawer. I have the Makeup Revolution Emily Noel palette, the Once. You guys know I am not getting rid of this. I love Emily Noel. She is just, when I think of YouTube, like OG YouTubers, like beauty YouTubers, I think of wonderful Emily. She's just the most kind, nicest person ever. So we have a great variety of like purples and nudes, and it's just so pretty. It's such a fantastic palette. All right, you guys, last but not least, the good old Zodiac palette from BH Cosmetics. I think they do still sell this palette. I hope they do. You guys remember when this first came out? I was obsessed. I was so obsessed with this palette. Oh my goodness. Do you see this? Look how pigmented. I mean, one swipe on my hand. Are you seeing this live? Look at that. I mean, phenomenal. There's no other word. There's no other word for it. All right, guys, so this is it. We've come to the finale. We're on the home stretch. So this right here is one of my first high-end palettes from Urban Decay. I believe it was called, I don't even remember what it was called. But remember, they came out with multiple palettes like this, but this one was my favorite because look, there's a skull on it, and I just really loved the packaging. This is so disgusting. Okay, heads up. This was in a project pan, so I've hit pan on pretty much almost all of the shades. It's been well loved, and pretty much these are all shimmery shades. There's not a single matte in here. And it really takes me back to like when I first started really getting into makeup and YouTube and everything. So this is definitely a keeper. This is another really old palette from Tarte. It's the Aqua Lilies palette. You guys remember when this came out? Yeah, I don't want to part with this. Again, it was just one of those things that when it came out, I was so excited and I paid full price, and I don't know, it was just like a fun experience. Like that day was just such a good day. So this is from an indie brand called Real Her Cosmetics, and this is their Do Your Squats eyeshadow palette. I think I will keep this one. Again, I've mentioned before in the past, like I love this as like an everyday palette when I travel, or when I did travel, you know, before Rona came along. But yeah, it's such a great like everyday palette, really natural look. And I like having something from different indie brands, you know, just to switch things up. I definitely need to pull this out again. All right, Lunatic Cosmetic Labs. I love their eyeshadow palettes. I think they have, though, discontinued quite a few of these. So this is an old throwback. This is the ABH Artist palette. I honestly haven't used this in years, and I feel like I'm ready to let go of this one. I really did like this though. When I first got it, I was like, ooh, I really like the packaging, but it's really, really old. And since we're talking about ABH, I do have the Subculture, which has been discontinued, so I don't think you can get it anymore. Out of the two palettes, I love this one way better. I think I am going to keep this one just because it's no longer available, and I really do love the colors in here. I feel like if I don't use it at all, when I do another makeup declutter like next year, or at the end of this year, if you will, then I am going to get rid of it. All right, we have the Urban Myth palette. This is brand new, so of course I'm keeping it. It's from Black Moon Cosmetics. Look how pretty this packaging, you guys. I just die every time I look at it. I did do a full review on this palette if you are curious about my like in-depth thoughts. I just love everything about the brand. They are really awesome. So this has really unique colors in here. Definitely keeping this one. It is a new one in my collection. So unique, beautiful, different, and I really like that. Now you're probably wondering, Jess, why do you have two of them? So the first one came shattered. So this is a weird thing. I'm curious to you guys, leave the comment down below. Like, do you guys hang on to like say a damaged palette and then keep the replacement? You know, if the company is nice enough to send you a replacement, do you keep both? Like, I don't know what to do. For now, I'm gonna hang on to both of them, you know, in case if I want to use another shade that I run out of in this palette. So yeah, I'm gonna hang on to both of them. All right, so I do have 3 palettes from Menagerie Cosmetics, and I'm keeping all of them. I have the Dragon Child palette. This has been discontinued, sadly, and I'm really sad because I love the formula and I love the colors. I have the Whale Song palette. I really want to try this again, though. I haven't used it in so long. I love blue eyeshadows, and this is probably the only blue-themed eyeshadow palette that I own. Do I need to say more? Do you think I'm going to get rid of this ever? No. Like, I want a full print of this and hang it on my wall. It's so gorgeous. So this is the Pharaoh palette from Menagerie. Again, colorful palette. Definitely keeping. So this is the Melt Cosmetics Smoke Sessions palette. And I love this palette. I think it's unique, it's beautiful, and it's different. The only downside again is that there's only 2 mattes and they're super dark. So again, that's where the little, where did I put it? The little Just My Look palette from ColourPop I will use with this one. All right, so moving on. I'm just gonna go ahead and go through my Melt palettes. I'm keeping them, you guys know, hardcore. I love my Melt Cosmetics eyeshadows. So again, another situation where one of the stacks was shattered and one was not. But this is the Melt Gunmetal stack, which I actually really like. All right, and then we have the Melt 27 palette. My favorite palette of 2020 was definitely the Rust palette. The palette of my dreams, the grungiest, most beautiful palette. Oh, do I need to even say anything? I mean, I love those kind of grungy mustard yellows. The warmth, the depth in here, this rusty orange. Oh my god. Like, this palette just blends like a dream. I love Melt's matte formula so much. Like, this palette is just chef's kiss, beautiful. All right, you guys, we are almost done. I am losing my voice, so we need to get through this quickly. Gimme Glow palettes, I am keeping all 3. I would really like to try more of Gimme Glow because it's hands down my favorite indie brand eyeshadows. All right, so this palette right here is from, I'm sorry, I'm like running out of room here to show you everything. So this is from Too Faced. This is the Everything Nice palette. I got this holiday palette forever ago. Colors are really pretty. I mean, it's nothing like super fancy, but I just still love this holiday palette. I don't know what it is. I love these like matte shades. This shimmer here called Marvelous. It's marvelous. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Alright guys, so here is my basket full of stuff I'm getting rid of. I'm sorry, I forgot to show in the first part of my declutter video, and then Forgot in the second part. It's just when I get really focused and concentrating on decluttering and organizing, I just kind of forget to show like the products I'm getting rid of. So I'm getting rid of a majority of my Kat Von D palettes. I'm just so over that brand. I'm not gonna sit here and explain, but that's why you didn't see me go through all the palettes. I don't have that many, but I have, you know, a few. And I just want to try to get rid of anything that's old and moldy and then try to maybe use up stuff off camera. So that's my whole thing with that. Palettes I'm getting rid of that are very old. And here's the basket full of everything I'm getting rid of. Just gonna dump it out. So there you go. That's everything I'm getting rid of. Now a lot of like old lip glosses and lipsticks from part 1 of my declutter I already tossed in the bin that were moldy and disgusting. So this is everything. My goal was not to see like how much can I declutter and get rid of. It was just going through, getting rid of things that are very old, things I don't use or like. Obviously this, I have, you know, more makeup than the average person because I'm on YouTube. If I wasn't on YouTube, I wouldn't have hardly any of this, but I do a lot of reviews and I really enjoy being here on YouTube. So there you go. That's everything I'm getting rid of. And I do need to go through it again, but yep, that's everything. I wanted to also mention that I did go through this little middle drawer that I have here, and basically it's just packaging from stuff I'm reviewing. And then I did go through my eyeliners. I don't have that many. I thought I'd just show you. I have like the jumbo pencils here from like Jordana and Milani, which are discontinued. And these are just my liquid liners and pencil liners. I didn't think it was that thrilling to go through all of these, so that's why you didn't see me go through my eyeliners. Yeah, nothing exciting here, but if you have any questions, you can leave it down below. But I just thought I would mention really quickly, I did go through my eyeliners. I got rid of some old pencils, but that's about it. Alright you guys, so we've come to the end of this declutter. I'm really pleased with the outcome. I love how all of my makeup drawers look, everything I can see, and I just feel like refreshed. Like I'm ready for 2021, bring it on. Bring on the new products, bring on lots of reviews and testing out new things. I hope you enjoyed these videos. Again, if you missed part 1, I'll link it down below in the description box, so make sure to check that out. Subscribe if you are new. I would love to have you join the family. And yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe. You can also check me out. I'm on Instagram a lot. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Stay tuned. Again, make sure you turn on those notifications. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.